Today I'm sharing the coolest die plate and coordinating stencil to make this fall themed card. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske and I'm going to share this fun card project with you. That video is coming up next. Here's a look at some of the products I'm going to be using today. I know for sure I'm using what is over here. I'm not completely sure about this, but I did just get these. I love the way they look. It is an A2 size, so going from the largest to the smallest. I don't have the measurements offhand, but it creates this beautiful pierced look detail. You know how I'm a fan of waffle flower panel dies. I think this is going to be really fun to work into my collection. If it works today, great. If not, we'll set this aside. But I am going to be playing with some pumpkins. I've got a pumpkin patch panel die, a Hey Pumpkin word die, and there's a coordinating stencil in the back of the pocket. Sometimes if I get products that are themed like this, I will keep them in the same pocket, kind of to save space and to make sure that when I'm looking for a Hey Pumpkin and this panel die, I know where they're all going to be together. So I've got some inks pulled today from Altenew, some greens and some oranges. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this out off camera, and then we're going to start blending on some color. I'm going to be working on my stamp wheel today, and this is just my original stamp wheel that I have. I want to get this to stick, if I can, to hold everything down. Now my stamp wheel mat isn't as sticky as it used to be, so this might not want to stay, because see how it's kind of curling up? The stencil has two layers. There is the pumpkin layer and the greenery. So once I get my pumpkins lined up, I should be able to seal in all this goodness like that. Because see how that will just suck it right down, even though there's a little bit of bowing in the paper? That is exactly what we want. And now we are going to do some pumpkins. And I think I will do a little bit of masking as I go. Let me grab my acetate pieces. I actually made these just by cutting a piece of acetate, but I know that Altenew makes a really cool set, and I saw my friend Jennifer McGuire use them, and I just thought that was brilliant. The only reason I want to do a little isolating is because I want to go from darkest to lightest, and I don't really want to muck that up. So I'm going to work through here with the first light, yeah, I guess I'm going to go light to dark. I'm going to turn on some music to speed this up because it'll take me a little while. So let's begin. All right, let's peel and reveal. This is so fun to see it come together. Oh, look at my panel. It just makes it look like I know what I'm doing. And that is one of the things that I love about layering stencils, right? Look at the depth of color on that panel. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. All right, let me get everything cleaned up and I'm gonna do my die cut for the greeting off camera and then we will turn this into a card. I have an idea. Famous last words. I really want to use the piercing as a frame. And so, I know this seems like, Cathy, what are you doing? This is pretty wild. I'm gonna use this whole piece like this. And then I am going to bring in one of my A2 layers dies, probably, oh, no, I don't think the frame should be that big. Hold on. Maybe this one, because this is the full size of a panel. And if well, boy, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to give this a try. I've never done anything like this, but these are perfectly sized, right? You can do this together and just kind of create your own frame. Now, if I don't love it, I won't use it, but I'm going to give it a roll and go through my die cut machine. And now I still have my centerpiece that I don't have to worry about, right? That's going to be perfectly fine. But now I have created a little gold pierced frame to put on top of my card. And that almost looks like a picture frame. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right, let me set that aside. Before I assemble the card though, I am going to put some gold spatter on here and I'm just going to use Distress Spritz in the fossilized amber, but I'm going to do it with a brush because I don't like to just spray because that will just look like a hot mess. So we'll get some nice little gold. Oh, there's my hair. That's lovely. There's always hair. All right, putting some here. Trying to get enough out. And remove my human hair. I'm gonna pick this up with my brush and just tap some on, right? Just get a few so there's a little shine here and there. Can be messy, nothing too fancy, just some of that. Okay, and now I will clean this up, get my note card prepared, and when this dries, you'll see a nice little bit of shine on there. I've got a nice piece of white cardstock here. This is the 110-pound Nina, which is probably overkill. This is going to be a very substantial card, but we're going to fold this over and then I will do that whole thing, right? And I think before I even get to the next part, I'm just going to stamp my little stamp on the back. All right. Then let's grab some tape, right? Now, here's the thing about this panel. You can pop some of the leaves up if you like. I don't necessarily want to do that. I just like the look and the texture of this just as is. So I'm not going to press anything up. Instead, I'm going to take some, where is it? Tape runner. I'm getting low. I may have to refill. And I'm just going to put this right onto the front of this note card, right to the edges there, using some of this Gina K tape runner. Like that. And we'll just kind of put a few, make sure there's enough there for it to stay in place. Then what we're going to do is use our score buddy and the ledge to line this panel up. And I think that's dry enough now. I'll press it down with a paper towel if need be. And I'll just use some cardstock here and press. I wasn't sure if the liquid on there is completely dry. It probably is. I'm going to flip it over. Just give that a good press. Now, I may trim a little tiny bit. Also, sometimes what I like to do is just run my bone folder along it too, just to really press that down. I may trim a little bit off here because I cut this cardstock on the base a little crooked. Hold tight. And I'm going to do some liquid glue on this. I'm not going to pop it up. I'm just going to do, I think, little bead around the edge of this panel. So let's go. I really want it to stay without going out into the hinterlands. That made no sense at all, but you know what I mean. I don't want this to ooze into the design. So we're just going to put this on the edge And it should be enough to hold my frame in place. And again, let's go ahead and, use the edge. Use the edges to help line up, because I still may have to do a tiny trim once I see this panel in place. Okay, so we press it here, come down, and there'll be a little all the way around. I'm going to flip this over and give it a chance to adhere. So now I have just a little bit at the bottom that I'm going to trim away so that I have a really clean looking frame. True story time. When I went to trim this, I used scissors and cut too much. So guess what I'm going to do? I made another frame, and all I'm going to do is put this back on, cover up my mess, and only you and I will know. So let me get that glued into place, and then we'll finish out the card. And here is the finished card. My camera, I stopped recording somehow. So what I did was I put the Hey Pumpkin on the base, and then I added a boop, 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 boop. This calls for confetti gold beads, and that's the finished card project. But look at how fun. We've got the pumpkin blends. We've got all that detail from the die cut. We've got our gold frame. And I love how this turned out. I love how the stencil allowed me to add all that color. Woo! Tell you what, bring on fall. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'll see you back here with another card project soon. To see more card projects featuring Waffle Flower Crafts products, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked below, and I'll see you in those videos.